but said he should not sin anymore. Then he told the brother of Jared to build a barges, and the Lord showed him how. The barges were built airtight so no water could come in. Then the brother of Jared wondered how the people could breathe. The Lord told him to make a small opening so to let air in and to keep water out. And the brother of Jared told the Lord it was just dark inside the barges. Then the Lord told him to find a way to make lights. The brother of Jared knew there could not be light from a window or fire because it would break. Then the brother of Jared went to a mountain and formed 16 small rocks from one large rock. Then he decided to put 2 in each corner for all the 8 barges. Then he went to a mountain and told the Lord to touch the stones. Then the Lord touched the stones. The brother there had extra faith, so he saw the Lord's finger. It looked like a human finger. And that's all I remember.
Okay. So what can we learn from that story? The brother of Jared. What is the story teaching us?
Never to sin.
Never?
Never to sin.
Never to sin.
Never what?
Sin.
To sin.
To sin.
Yeah, but it also teaches us to have faith. Okay. Because when someone tells you something, sometimes you don't know what is going to happen. They tell you to do this. If you're not doing it, you don't know what's going to happen. But sometimes you're not doing it because you're doubting in your heart, because you don't have faith. So, do you think that if I touch this cup, it can give us light?
No.
Okay, you don't think that. Okay. So, but the brother, because that is not how we get light. Okay. So this is not different from a stone. So that most people wouldn't believe it. If God told you to touch this, that it may become light, will you do it? Hmm?
I would do it because he said that I would also do it.
We didn't know that. So your next question, you're going to answer it first before anybody answers. Okay? If Heavenly Father told you to jump from a building up there, can you jump?
No.
No, I didn't ask you, I asked Lacey first. If you're standing on top, it tells you, Heavenly Father tells you, go up on the building and jump, Lacey. Will you jump? Will you jump? Hmm? What about if you are in a swimming pool and you see a kid that is drowning? And Heavenly Father tells you, Lacey, go in the water and help that kid that is drowning.
And I would do it.
You would do it. Do you know how to swim?
Not that much, but
But
if it's an older kid, then what would you do?
the question is, if Heavenly Father asks you to do something that you don't know how to do it, will you still do it?
You are going to go to the Yes, if he says you must jump the building, it's not because if you wanted to jump the building and he didn't say, he wouldn't protect you because you chose to do it.
Exactly.
But if he chose for you to do it.
If he tells you to do it, then you have to believe in him.
And then
but if you just wanted to do it anyhow in a silly way, you just want to do it, then you're going to die.
But if he says it, then if he says you must jump from a building, you must do it because he will say.
Yeah, because maybe he knows what is going to happen to that building. Maybe the building is going to crumble down and you'll fall with it. And if you jump, something he might save you. There might be something somewhere to save you. You see? But you have to be careful whether it is Heavenly Father that is telling you, because some people, there have been fires in the buildings, and some people have tried to jump from the buildings and they've died. So you have to be careful. Is it Heavenly Father that is telling you, or is it you who thinks that, okay, I think I should jump now? Okay? It's hard to tell. That's a good answer, because if you're not reading scriptures every day, you're not praying, you will never know Heavenly Father's voice because you're not used to His voice. If I don't talk to you in years, or if I've never spoken to you, will you know my voice? No. Do you know your grandfather's voice?
No.
Okay, so even if he spoke right now, you wouldn't know that that is your grandfather. But if Regan was to speak when he's out there, won't you know that that is Regan?
Yes.
Exactly, because you hear him all the time. So Heavenly Father is like that. The way you hear His voice and know Him is if you are always doing the things that invite His Spirit. So when His Spirit speaks to you, you will know because you're used to that voice. But if you're not used to the voice, you won't tell whether it is your own thoughts or it is just your thinking. So the brother of Jared knew the Lord. And the scriptures teach us that he knew Him very well because he had seen Him and he spoke to Him like a man speaking to another man. Okay? He must have been a very righteous man, very, very holy man. So that's why he knew when Heavenly Father said, touch those stones, he knew that Heavenly Father will not lie. He touched them. Fine. But if he doubted and he didn't know Heavenly Father's voice, that's why in that one time he had not prayed, but he was always praying. And so he repented. But he was always praying. That's how he knew. So when you see scriptures all the time, if someone will say something about the Bible at school, you will know it because you read the stories every day. It's the same way. You have to know the relationship that you have with Heavenly Father will help you make good choices when you grow up. When your parents are not there, there will be that voice that will come to you and say, Linky, I think it's time to get away from these people. Just leave these friends of yours. Just leave them and go now. And if you listen and go, you'll find that maybe as soon as you left, something bad happened. Maybe somebody was shot and killed, or maybe the police came and arrested people. And you say, oh my God, if I had stayed, something bad would have happened to me. See? You always have to know that voice. That is what we learned from the brother of Jared. He knew the voice of the Lord, and he didn't have doubt. He had faith in Him. So if Heavenly Father says, touch this cup, and you know the reason why He's asking you to touch it, and there will be light, you touch it. But even if you touch it every day 1,000 times, and he hasn't said it, nothing will happen to it. Okay? It just remain as it is. Because there's no reason why it should become light.
And I have never heard of
Okay, tell us your
voice.
story. What did you read?
I read Noah.
And yesterday, what did you read? Or the day before when we last read? Noah. How many stories are there? I think there's Adam, there's Noah, and David. I think those are the only stories, and Esau.
But
Okay, just listen to her.
She has 48 stories.
Yeah, there's so many stories. You
But
can't just be reading four stories all the time.
Let her
No,
say that.
listen to what we are saying. There are many other stories in the Bible. Give me that book. Let me show you. You will never know other things if you just stick to the one thing. You see these numbers here? See that? So 1 up to 26 here, and it goes
48.
and there are 48 stories, okay, in this book, Old Testament. It's not just Noah, Adam, David and Goliath, Moses. There's many other stories. There's Elijah here. I've never heard you say a story about Elijah. Solomon, King Solomon. There's many other stories. You have forgotten some of them. There's Daniel, there's Jonah, there's Esther. There's many other wonderful stories. Okay? So Ruth, Naomi, Samuel, Saul. You need to know about this. Jacob, the Ten Commandments, the Golden Calf. You need to read more stories. You just focus. If you read, like this week, yesterday, the other day, you taught us about Noah. There's no reason why you should read Noah again. You find another story. Okay? Yeah. Because even us, we say another story every day. We don't continue the same unless it's for the whole week. But for you people, you read a chapter every time. So there should be something new that you learn all the time. All right? What did you learn about Noah?
That we should.
We should.
We should build a boat. We should build a boat when Heavenly Father says that He can flood the earth.
No, that's not the lesson. That is what you read. Heavenly Father will not always ask us to build a boat. It's the lesson. The lesson is to listen to Heavenly Father, just like the brother of Jared. If he says this, then that is the time to do it. It's the same lesson as Lincoln's. That we need to have faith and trust in Heavenly Father. When He tells us to do this, then we do it. That is the story about Noah. Story of faith, believing in God. Because there was no rain when He told people to build the boat. Okay? So Heavenly Father always, when He asks us to do things, sometimes we don't know why, because they don't make sense. Because this cup doesn't give light, the stone doesn't give light. It's the bulb that we know gives light. But if He says it, then there's a reason behind it. Because He knows everything. Okay, Larry?
I was appearing in glory, the transfiguration. Jesus took Peter, James, and John to the top of a mountain to pray. When Jesus left them and went to pray, He was filled with the Holy Ghost. And He saw two Old Testament prophets. He saw Moses and Eli. Jesus came back. The disciples were asleep. When the disciples woke up, they saw Jesus, Moses, and Eli. And then they heard Heavenly Father's voice. And he said, "This is my beloved Son. Hear ye him." Jesus, when Jesus came to his disciples, when the disciples looked up, the heavenly messengers were gone. Jesus told them that they should not tell anyone what had happened until his death and resurrection.
Do we learn from that? Because we have to always these scriptures are there to teach us something. It's not just to read those words and those stories. There's always a lesson behind it. So when you're reading it, you should try and think, what does this teach me? What can I learn from this? That is always what you have to ask yourself. It's not just the words and the stories and the fights and what. There's something that is always there to teach us. The scriptures were written to teach us something so we can learn from those things and not be able to make the same mistakes that other people made. And if we're having a problem, then we know how we can motivate ourselves out of that problem. Okay. So, as we're reading from this week, we're reading Alma 8 until 12. We've seen what happens to Alma. Alma is traveling, goes to the land of Ammonihah, and people had chased him out of that land before. He went to preach to them, and they did not accept him. So this time, an angel spoke to him. He had a vision, and an angel told him to go back to the land of Ammonihah. When he went back, he met somebody. Who did he meet? Yeah. Yes, he met Amalek. And what happened?
Alma stayed with Amalek for many days.
Okay.
And Alma taught Amalek's family the gospel.
Mm-hmm. But also before, there's something that was happening to Alma.
Yeah, they were also thrown in prison.
Mm-hmm. But this time he was just meeting. He was hungry. Remember? And he was looking for some food, but he didn't know where to go. Then the angel told him to go to the house of that man. And the man he met was Amalek. And how did Amalek receive him? Did Amalek chase him away?
No, he gave him food.
Yeah, he gave food and welcomed him in and said he knew that he was a man of God.
His angels were
Yeah. And so then they weren't teaching the gospel, and then there was one evil man that was telling people that they should not believe those teachings, because those are the false teachings of their ancestors. And the ancestors are the people who lived before you, like your grandparents, your grandparents. So, what was the name of that man? His name starts with K.
Wait.
Okay, there were two, but there's this one also. His name starts with K. His name was Koriho. So Koriho is the man that was teaching people false things and telling them not to follow Alma and Amulet's teachings. But for me, I think the one thing that I just wanted to draw your attention to is that people believed that man. Okay, so in life, when there's people like the servants of God usually were simple, humble people. But Amulek, they say he was a very wealthy man. He was rich. So, but people do not respect you if they think that you're poor. Okay, people like to listen to people whom they think they are rich. So if you were riding a bicycle and you walked into a place and you told people something, they will not believe you as much. But if you come and you're driving a nice fancy car and you speak to people, everyone will want to listen. Everyone will come so close and they will pay attention and listen. But if a poor man comes on a bicycle and is telling people things, who are you to tell us? Take your bicycle away, go away, and chase them away. You know? So that's the people of the world. So Alma was chased around the first time he went to Ammonihah. Now, when he came and he was with Amulek, people were more willing to listen to him a little bit because he was with a famous man who was rich. But there came another man who was very flattery and he also maybe was wealthy. His name was Korihov, and people believed him. And so the word they used, somebody who explained, he said, that man was an antichrist. And he used the one who was explaining the scriptures, he used the word gullible. Linky, the word we're learning here is gullible. What does the word gullible mean? Close the book. Let's just see a reading there in this one for American. What does the word gullible mean? So gullible is like to be easily deceived. Yeah. And usually little kids are easily deceived. Because if someone knows, oh, Linky loves games, and Linky loves sandwiches, burgers, chips, they might just bring a nice McDonald's box with a
and ice
what is
cream.
that? What do you call it? That's a meal, Happy Meal. They bring you a Happy Meal and they say, Linky, come here. If you can go and steal the keys of that car from that guy, I'll give you this Happy Meal. They won't say steal. They'll say, go and get me those keys there, and I'll give you this Happy Meal. And then, do you love video games? Yes, yeah, I love video games. How do you like this video game? They'll show you a nice, cool game. I'll give you this game. And what will Linky do? This you think? He'll go and get it.
Why?
Why? Because that's what people do. The bad people. Because kids are gullible. They're easily deceived. So that's the word I wanted to show you today. Because kids will never know that, oh, that man, that's not his car. Why is he asking me to get that car? Why doesn't he go and get those keys? Maybe he's tricking me and I'm going to steal those keys for him. Kids don't think that. They think about the thing that has been promised to them. Like Happy Meal. Get excited. Happy Meal and the video game for myself. I'll go. He'll run so fast and he won't even look anywhere. Just grab those keys and bring them.
And then the police will
And
come.
then something bad might happen. Get arrested. Yes, because you know why? When I was a kid too, it happened to me. Yeah. My mom gave me some money to go and buy milk. And so I had a can. You know a can? Like something that you put in water and carry, a water can, you know. I had that. And I was going to buy milk. And so this man, who was a con man, you know what they call a con man? A con man is people who deceive people. This is a con man. So a con man is a person who deceives. Kind of like Horrible. He was lying to people and deceiving the people. So this man told me he saw that I had money in my hand, but my mom had put that money in a tin, and the tin was about this size. You know, like the place we put soap, the pink one? It kind of, the shape was like that, a bit oval. So the money was inside. So the man knew that no child can carry the Vaseline, because it was a Vaseline tin. It was called Imperial. And so he knew that I can't carry around that Vaseline tin going everywhere. He knew that the money was in that.
Because it was clear.
No, it wasn't clear. You couldn't see. It was red, like that hot chocolate thing. It was red like that, but in oval shape. So the man said, you know what? Oh, I heard that you did so well at school. Yeah, I said, yes, because I was always doing very well at school. I was always like the first in the class. I was always getting like 100 or 90. You think you're the only one? Why do you think you can get 100? If your dad was dumb and your mom was dumb, you would be getting dumb also, 0. So a clever dad has a clever child, and a clever mom has a clever child. Yeah, that's how it happens. If your parents are not clever, you won't be clever. If your parents are not clever, you won't be clever. So my dad was also a clever man. He knew math. That's why you know math, like I knew math, because it's in our blood, our generation. So anyway, back to that story. So the man followed me and he said, "Oh no, don't worry, I'll pay your fare. Don't pay, don't pay." So we got into a taxi and he paid the fare for me. Then don't look at the clock. Don't look at the clock. We have the whole day until 5 o'clock. We're not going anywhere. We're just in this house. There'll be a lot of time to do all the other things. Yeah, because it's distracting me all the time. So then we get into the taxi, and then the man says, "Oh, don't pay. You don't have to pay. I'll pay for you." But I wasn't going to pay anyway. So now the man is trying to get in my head, make me think, "Oh, he's a nice man." So he says, "Oh, no, let's get off here first. I need to get something here." So the vehicle drives off and leaves the stage, and it stops like not very far from, like it drives from that corner there, and it stopped there and said, "Oh, let's get out here. I need to get something." Then when we passed by the shop, we said, "Do you see those cakes there? I think you deserve a cake for as a present. You did very well at school." So he will come back in that shop, and then he would, "Hey, hello, how are you?" But he was just waving to people that he didn't know. Jessie can go back to her place. Why does she have to move? She chose to come down this way. So then he waved to the people in the shop, and then to pretend like he knew them. And I thought he knew them. Said, "You see those cakes there? You go and get one. I'll send you to go and get one of those cakes." Then we continued walking on foot for a long distance in a place until we got to a place where it was very quiet and no one was there. And then, what do you think happened?
You got arrested.
No, I did not. What? So listen carefully and learn from this story. So then the man said, "You know what? Give me that can and that tin in your hands, and I'll hold it for you." No, I said, "No, I can run with them." I said, No. I need you to run very quickly and then come back. So you go to that shop where I showed you and ask them that so and so, he said a name that I can't remember, but it didn't mean anything to anyone. Go to that shop and tell them I sent you, that they should give you a cake. So I gave him the can and I was holding the tin and said, "No, give me that tin too." And I said, "No, I can hold it." Said, "Give me that tin too." So you might find some naughty boys along the way. Let me just keep these things for you. And then I gave him the tin which had the money and the can. And then I ran so fast. I was thinking in my head, I'm going to run so fast and I'll come back and find him. Kind of like what Linky will think, that he'll be very fast. So I ran so fast, I left my money with him to go and get a cake. And when I got to the shop, what do you think they told me?
There's nothing. We don't know that person.
We don't know who was that man. So I passed by with the man here and he waved at you and he said, "No, we don't know him. We didn't see him."
I think he's just pretending to wave.
Yeah, he was just pretending, I think. So when I decided, I realized, this man could be a con man. Maybe he wanted to steal his things from me. Let me run so fast and I'll catch him.
You cannot catch
when I got there, he had already gone. I couldn't find the place he went. It's not even his home. It was just an open place, a drive like kind of a drive-through, and it's a complex for that people who live there. And we went inside, and then he just walked out and he left. And
what happened to you when you got home?
I was in trouble.
Yes, and you got smacked.
Yes, I got smacked.
Oh my
Because I
goodness.
didn't listen.
It's
Because
saying
that's why I'm teaching you this, so that you won't have to be smart. Yeah? So that people will not steal things from you. If someone tells you that you should hold something for them, if they trick you that they're going to give you something,
Don't
because
believe
that's what
that.
the con men say. That's what the word gullible is about. Some people are so gullible. They're so easily deceived, like kids. So kids are easily deceived because people know what things the kids want.
Like
Chocolate, those Happy Meals. So you have to know that. Every child gets deceived, but you have to be careful not to be deceived. Especially some kids get deceived and they get taken away. And they take their
Oh my
hearts.
goodness, that is
'Cause
the
you know,
dangerous one.
listen carefully.
Oh my gosh.
Listen carefully.
And you will not see
You know, there's
your
some
parents
kids
anymore.
that are very sick and they're about to die. And what do they need? Sometimes they need a heart, but they can't find a heart. And their parents have a lot of money. Their parents are willing to pay millions and millions of money to get a heart for their child. So what do people do?
Get another
They
kid.
kidnap a little boy like this and take him, and he disappears. Sometimes they won't even lie to you. The vehicle just stop next to you, they'll grab you, put you in a car, they'll drive off, and then take away. So that's why you have
Careful.
to stay away from strange people, cars, strangers, and what that you don't know. Even if it's the mother of your friend or the parent of your friend or your dad or whatever, you can't accept to go with them.
only if it's like your parents.
If your parents are with you, then you go. Those rich people, they will pay. The body has many organs. Sometimes it's the lungs, they're breathing on oxygen, the kid is about to die. They steal a kid like this one on the street, or they give him chocolate. Oh, come, I'll give you a piece of chocolate. Oh, he sees a nice piece of chocolate and he's hungry, he follows it. Boom, they put him in the car, take him in a place, they cut him, take the organs out, that they throw his body out somewhere, they take the organs and they put them in a box, ship them on a plane, take them to the rich person, they put the lungs in the other kid, and the kid survives.
But you don't.
But you don't, because when they take out your lungs, you die.
Yeah.
Any organs that they would take, unless they take one and they leave the other. But there are not so many organs that are two. The heart is just one heart. The lungs, there are two lungs, one on the right, one on the left.
So if
And the kidney, there are two kidneys. So the kidney is what cleans the water in the body. So the water that we pee is the dirty water. And it's the kidney that does that work. So if your kidney has a problem, you'll be peeing all the time. Or maybe the pee will just be coming out of you, it won't stop.
Won't stop.
Yeah. So those are some of the problems. So people are sick and they need a kidney. Sometimes they give one kidney. You can still survive if you have one kidney. But I don't know if you can survive if you have one lung. I don't know that. It's only the kidney that I know. But the heart, the liver, the lungs, the kidney.
What's a liver?
The liver is another organ in the body. And the liver, what does it do? It controls the sugar and the stuff so that we don't become diabetic or sugar. Because when you put all that chocolate in your mouth, that chocolate is enough to just make you sick right away. But the liver balances that and
Make sure that you don't get sick.
but if you keep eating it too much, and then the liver gives up because it's too much. It's kind of like when you bring this whole water and you want to pour this water in this cup. This cup can only take just as much as this. If you continue pouring, the water will just keep coming out.
But
So
if
the
you
more
want to drink it all up out of
So
that kettle,
if you want to eat more chocolate, and the body is small, then there'll be more problems coming. You become sick and sick and sick and sick till you become diabetic. And what is happening to the people who get corona? People who have who can't breathe well, Their lungs have a problem, they die. People who are diabetic, they die. People who have the heart problem, they die quickly. They can't survive because their organs are affected already. So to fight coronavirus, every organ has to be very strong. Then you get your medication, you take it, and when your organs are all strong and healthy, then you recover quickly. But if any of your organs has a problem, it might be bad news. You might not make it. So that's why we have to do the right thing, kids. So the story of Alma still goes on and on and on, but that's all I wanted to share with you for now. Your mom maybe shares something to share, and then we'll end it here. We'll end at 11, Linky. I don't know why you're even standing up.
No, the thing that I just want to share is about the story of Alma and Amalek. It's teaching us you need to preach the gospel also through the things that we are doing every day in our daily life. And it's like Alma and Amalek. It's teaching us like we can be a good friend. The children can be a good friend to others. So, like Alma and Amalek, Amalek served Alma because Amalek become a good friend of Alma. And we can be like that too. We can learn that we can love we can love our friends. We can be a good friend of the others. So as Daddy said, that the scriptures we read and we have to learn something from it and apply in our life every time. Not just to read, and there is nothing. And even those story in the Bible, in the Book of Mormon, there is like a story of war. But at the end of that, there is something that we need to learn. Like, for example, we always need to fight and fight the good fight. What was the things that little is it life little instruction? Do you remember? Like if you are in a fight, the first thing we do is what? Huh? First hit hard and then like what was it? Yeah, like I'm talking about like when you read like something like about war in the Book of Mormon or in the Bible, there is something that we can learn also, not just the war and war. And like we need to look for the good part of it and apply in our life. Because even in life, there's many bad things happen, and then we need to be steadfast, steadfast, so that we can get good things from it all the time and apply it in our life. And it says also in that chapter that if we have the Spirit, we can listen to God. We can hear the voice of God through the Spirit, and tells us what the good things that we need to do, so that He can lead us and God can help us to overcome some problem that we have in life, and help us to have that faith, even if we don't see Him, but we can feel Him. We can see that we are not alone. So yeah, that's the thing that I've learned.
Any questions? We still have some 17 minutes. Any questions?
No.
Okay.
Question.
So the word that I told you, gullible, how does it relate to the story of Korah and the Alma and Amalek?
What is gullible?
Gullible is to be deceived.
Okay. So how does it relate to the story?
Who deceived who? Who
Korah
deceived who?
the people.
And what did he deceive them? How did he deceive them?
By telling them to not repent. To not repent, and that whether they were good or bad, they were able to enter God's kingdom.
That's right. That's right. He remembers those things. He said it doesn't matter whether you're bad or good, you all go to heaven.
And that is not true.
Is
Oh
that
my
true?
goodness.
No.
That is not
and
true.
People like to believe those kind of stories. If you tell them that, you know what, it doesn't matter whether you go to church or not, whether you read your scriptures, it doesn't matter. God loves all of
us, and then you follow that,
and
you
say,
trap.
oh yes, and then they get their alcohol, their beer, their drinking, and their partying, and and they're doing all their,
But that is not it. You have to work for your salvation. Like even in the Bible, there is like a part.
All of us would be rich. We didn't
Yeah.
have to do anything. We'll just get everything. You want a car, you get a car. They want a house, you get it.
But you have to work.
An iPad, you go and get it. But it's not like that.
It's not like that. You have to
work
work
hard for everything. Even the kingdom of God is not for free.
You have to work.
That's why it's what is it? A narrow path. It's a very narrow.
He is an antichrist.
To get into.
He says there's no such a thing.
The kingdom of
God will punish people. God doesn't punish his people. He loves them. But what happened in the time of Noah?
They punished them. What happened? They
punished them by sending a flood.
Okay.
What if it was an acid flood? That would be worse.
But he has sent coronavirus to us because
that is the punishment. That is the big punishment.
And it's like Noah. He sent a flood because the people were bad.
For us who go to church, the prophet told us to make a food storage. And he told us to start preparing to have church at home. Other people have gone to church and they got coronavirus at church and they died. Because they don't have a prophet that they follow. See, we're kind of like those people in those days, but we have our days. So our days, it's not the floods.
It's a corona.
It's the coronavirus. Okay? And it can kill whether you're good or bad. It kills anyone. But if you've been good and you die, it's not a bad thing. Because you're going to live with Heavenly Father. You are prepared. But if you die and you've been naughty, then misery is what you're going to get.
You'll go with the devil.
Exactly. So, that is how Heavenly Father always makes his children come back to him. Because now everybody now is so humble, people are so kind, they're giving to the poor. But before, they didn't care about the poor. But now everyone around the world, they're collecting money to give to the poor, they're helping. So people are more united now than they were before.
And then people are now like, you know what, some parents, they don't have even time for the children. Now they have to stay at home.
Well, their family.
Their family.
Father, families. The family proclamation to the world. The prophet gave this to the world, to all of them. That
we need to be united.
A few things for you here. That's the first presidency's words. All human beings, male and female, are created in the image of God. And in our premortal life, we all live with Him. And the first commandment is we gave to Adam and Eve pertained to the potential of being for parenthood, husband and wife. Okay? It's here, everything that Heavenly Father, that the husband and wife will have their family, and will have their children, and teach them. They spend nights out there. They leave, the father doesn't come home. The mother stays alone with the kids. The kids get sick and there's no one to take care of them. So now, Heavenly Father sent
Corona.
coronavirus, and where do they go? They all
have
have
to
to
be
stay
all
at home.
together.
The father
don't
and
need
the
to
mother and the
drink.
kids.
They
And
don't need
they
to
even
smoke.
say there was a time you couldn't drink, you couldn't
Because
buy
the
alcohol.
governmentally.
Because when people drink, have accidents, they knock down other people, and other people die. That is what happens.
Corona is a punishment for everyone.
So, Heavenly Father wants people and wants children to be born in a family where there's parents, father and mother. So that's why now all families are together at this time more than before. So when this corona is gone and Heavenly Father sees these children are good, He will continue to bless us and we get nothing. But if people show more signs of wickedness, there will be another thing. It won't be corona, maybe. It will be another thing. We don't know.
What if it's a tornado?
It can be a tornado, it can be floods, it can be famine. You know
A
what famine
tsunami?
is?
Yes.
Famine is when like there's no food or drought.
Famine.
Tsunami, lava.
So because last year or 2017 we had a drought. There was no water in South Africa. For a long time people were praying that we could have water. It became illegal even to wash your car with water. We couldn't
Because the water is not enough.
Is not enough. So you cannot use water to wash your car or what. Unless if it is water from maybe that came from the washing machine like that. You know? So there's always something that happens.
The thing is, like, God wants us to repent and not do
But
bad
then
things.
the other thing was an earthquake.
You see, when you read the Book of Mormon, whenever there was something wrong, the judges and the kings, after King Benjamin and King Mosiah, they came the judges. But after the judges, people became very wicked and they were doing a lot of bad things. Then something happened to them. The Lamanites came and killed them. There's always something. In the time of Noah, floods. Before Noah, there was something else.
And then there is, they say that God will not send the flood anymore, but God will send the fire. And the earth will be purified with fire, but we don't know when it will be. So we have to be prepared. If we are wicked,
there are always earthquakes.
And then if we do bad thing, God will not
there was a tsunami also.
Protect us.
That is kind of like floods.
Yeah. It's a big one.
Yeah. But it didn't go all over the world, but it went in one.
But it says that I don't know, like that will happen. Maybe that will be the end of the earth or at the end of the world. Like God is gonna send fire.
It doesn't mean that we have to worry about the fire that is going to come.
No, but the thing is, like, you need to be prepared every day. That's all.
If we do the right thing,
you not, yeah.
Because when
you have to prepare every day. We have to read the scriptures. We have to be good. We have to repent when we do bad things.
And we can still do a lot of good things. We can still be happy for a long time. Because dying is part of the
life. Part of life.
Progress. It's kind of like you see a butterfly. It just doesn't remain a butterfly. Lays eggs, and then the eggs, and then actually it is the caterpillar we need to speak about more than the butterfly, because the caterpillar is.
The caterpillar won't be a caterpillar for long.
Yeah, it is for a short time, and then it becomes a butterfly, and then it goes and it lays eggs, and the eggs become caterpillar.